She was just another wedding wallflower, until his whisper changed everything. Pretend you're with me. But when he shows up at her door in the rain, with a secret that could destroy them both, she'll discover that some love stories begin with lies. Will she risk everything for a man who might be her salvation, or the most dangerous decision she's ever made? I've always been good at making myself small. At my cousin's big fancy wedding, I sit at the back corner table where the shadows are kind. My black dress feels too tight, too dark among the bright colors and sparkles all around me. The dress was on sale, but still cost 2 weeks of my librarian pay. Not that anyone notices what I wear. The band plays soft music. The sound of clinking glasses and loud laughs fills the room. I hold my champagne glass up, like a little wall between me and everyone else. No one sits with me, but that's nothing new. I'm used to being alone in crowded rooms. "More cake, miss?" a waiter asks. The first words anyone has said to me in over an hour. "No, thank you," I whisper. And he moves on, already forgetting me. Earlier, Aunt Margaret had pulled her friend aside when I walked up. "This is Elise," she had said with a tight smile. "She works at the library. Still single, of course." The way she said still made it sound like a sickness I couldn't shake. I check my phone under the table. Only 8:30. 2 more hours before I can leave without seeming rude. I count the minutes like pennies, saved for something special. My escape back to my quiet apartment. My books. My cat Milo, who never asks why I don't bring dates to family events. The bride, my cousin Olivia, throws her head back laughing as her new husband twirls her on the dance floor. They look like dolls on top of a cake, perfect and shiny. I try to be happy for her, but all I feel is the cold space between my life and hers. I take tiny sips of champagne, making it last. The bubbles tickle my nose. The sweet taste turns sour in my mouth as I watch happy couples sway together on the dance floor. My own parents didn't dance at their wedding. Dad left when I was 10. Mom says I have his quiet nature, like it's a curse she hoped I wouldn't catch. The DJ calls all couples to the floor for a special dance. Chairs scrape as people stand. Soon I'm the only one sitting in my whole section, like a tree left standing after a storm. I pull out my book from my purse. I always bring a book, but the light is too dim to read. Still, I hold it open, eyes down, a clear sign. I'm fine alone. This is a choice. It's not a choice. I feel it then, that odd feeling of being watched. Not the usual quick glance people give the sad single girl. This is different, steady, heavy. I look up and across the room. Through the sea of moving bodies and flashing lights, a man stands still, watching me. He wears a dark blue suit that fits him perfectly. Tall, with wide shoulders and dark hair cut short on the sides. He doesn't smile, doesn't wave, just looks at me like he knows me. But he can't. I would remember him. He's the kind of man who fills a room just by standing in it. The kind that makes people sit up straighter when he walks past. I know without being told that he's someone important, someone with power. Our eyes lock for 3 heartbeats, 4, 5. A strange heat crawls up my neck into my cheeks. I'm the first to look away, suddenly finding my empty plate very interesting. When I dare look up again, he's gone. Who was that man talking to Uncle Robert earlier? I ask my younger cousin Zoe when she stops by my table to drop off her purse. "Which one?" she asks, already looking back at the dance floor, eager to return. Tall, dark hair, blue suit. He was standing by the gift table a minute ago. Oh, her eyes light up. That's Gabriel Kaplan, some big shot CEO mom invited to network with. Super rich, super single, super not interested in anyone here. She grabs her lipstick from her purse. Trust me, half the single women here have tried. He barely talks. Just watches everyone like he's buying stock in them or something. She shrugs. Weird but hot, you know? I don't answer. Zoe wouldn't understand that for one moment, I felt seen by those dark eyes. Not judged, not pitied, just seen. My phone buzzes. A text from my neighbor. Milo got out again, found him in the hallway. I let him back in. It's the sign I've been waiting for. I gather my small purse, finish my champagne in one gulp that makes my eyes water. You're leaving? Zoe asks, surprise in her voice. They haven't even cut the cake. Milo got out, I say, as if my cat means as much to her as he does to me. I need to make sure he's okay. Mom will be disappointed, Zoe says. But she's already looking past me, waving to a friend. No one will notice I'm gone. That's the truth that follows me out of the bright hall, down the quiet steps, into the cool night air. The music fades behind me. Each step away feels like setting down a heavy bag I've carried too long. I wait for my ride share at the curb, hugging myself against the chill. The stars above are bright little eyes that don't care if I'm alone or not. A dark car pulls up to the curb near the entrance. Gabriel Kaplan steps out, on his phone, frowning. He doesn't see me standing in the shadows. For a wild second, I think about walking over, saying hello. What would someone brave do? Not me, never me. My car arrives. I slip inside like a ghost, giving my address to the driver. As we pull away from the lights and laughter, I catch one last glimpse of the man who saw me. He's looking up now, phone down, scanning the night as if searching for something lost. I sink back into the seat. Tomorrow I'll be back among my books at the library. Safe, unseen, unhurt. It's better that way. But that night, I dream of dark eyes that see right through walls I've built my whole life. 3 nights after the wedding, I sit curled up in my favorite reading chair. Rain pounds against my windows like angry fists. Wind howls between buildings, making the old pipes in my walls groan. My cat, Milo, sleeps on the couch, his orange fur glowing in the soft lamplight. My small apartment feels snug on nights like this. Just me, my cat, my books, and the storm outside where it belongs. I've made hot tea with honey. The steam rises in curls as I blow across the top. The book in my lap is worn from many readings, its pages soft at the corners. This is my happy place. No eyes watching. No need to smile when I don't feel like it. No sad looks when people learn I live alone. The clock on my wall shows just past midnight when the knocking starts. 3 hard, fast knocks that make me jump so much I spill tea on my pajama pants. Milo's head pops up, ears flat. Who would come here now? I whisper to Milo, who only blinks slowly at me. The knocking comes again, more urgent this time. I set my book and tea down, heart beating fast. No one visits me, especially not at midnight during the worst storm of the year. I tiptoe to the door and look through the peephole. At first, I see only a dark shape. Then the hall light flickers on, and I nearly gasp out loud. It's him, the man from the wedding, Gabriel Kaplan. His perfect suit is gone, replaced by a dark jacket and jeans, both soaking wet. His hair is plastered to his head. Water drips down his face, but it's his eyes that make me step back. They're wide and desperate, nothing like the cool, watching eyes from the wedding. Please, his voice comes through the door, low but clear. I know you don't know me. I need help. I should call someone. The building manager, the police, anyone. This isn't normal. Rich CEOs don't show up at librarians' doors in the middle of stormy nights. Go away or I'll call the police, I say, trying to sound brave. Elise, please. I was at your cousin's wedding. You left early. Blue dress. Reading a book at your table. His voice drops lower. I'm not here to hurt you, I promise. I didn't know where else to go. They're looking everywhere else. A chill runs down my back. He knows my name. He noticed my dress. He saw me reading. Who's looking for you? I ask, hand still on my phone, ready to call for help. I can explain everything. but not through the door. Please. That's when I hear it, a small whimpering sound. Not from him, but something with him. Slowly, I open the door. Just a crack, chain still on. Gabriel stands there, rain dripping off him onto the hallway carpet. But what catches my eye is the movement inside his jacket. He's holding something against his chest, inside his coat. What's that? I ask. Carefully, he opens his jacket. Inside, tucked against his chest, is a small puppy, tiny, with soft golden fur and big brown eyes that look as scared as I feel. It shakes, making that sad whimpering sound again. Her name is Willow, Gabriel says softly. They'll take her if they find her. I can't let that happen. The puppy Willow looks up at me and whines again. So small, so helpless. Whatever is happening, this little dog is caught in the middle of it. Something in me decides before my brain can catch up. I close the door, unhook the chain, and open it again. Come in, I say, but just until the storm passes. Relief washes over his face as he steps inside. He's tall, taller than I remembered, and the space suddenly feels smaller with him in it. Water pools around his shoes on my clean floor. Thank you, he says, his voice rough with what sounds like days of worry. I wouldn't have come if I had any other choice. Milo arches his back and hisses from his spot on the couch. I don't blame him. I don't know what I'm doing either. Stay here, I tell Gabriel, pointing to the small entry space. Don't drip all over my apartment. I hurry to the bathroom and grab 2 clean towels. When I return, he hasn't moved an inch, still cradling the puppy inside his jacket. Up close, I can see dark circles under his eyes, a day's worth of stubble on his jaw. Nothing like the polished man at the wedding. Here, I hand him a towel. For you, and this one is for her. He takes the towels with a grateful nod. Carefully, he wraps the smaller one around the puppy before drying his own face and hair with the other. Why are you running? Who's after you? I ask, standing a safe distance away. Gabriel looks at me for a long moment. Rainwater drips from his hair down his neck. It's complicated, he says finally, and dangerous. The less you know right now, the safer you are. That's not how this works, I say, surprising myself with how firm I sound. You don't get to show up at midnight, dripping wet with a puppy, and not explain why. A flash of lightning lights up my windows, followed by a crash of thunder so loud the walls seem to shake. The puppy yelps and burrows deeper into the towel. Even Milo dashes under the couch. Gabriel's shoulders slump. He suddenly looks very tired. I worked for a company called Nexus Laboratories. They do testing on animals, illegal testing, things no one should do to any living creature. His voice drops. When I found out, I couldn't just walk away, but I couldn't save them all. Just her. He looks down at the bundle in his arms. I've been hiding for 3 days. They've checked my apartment, my parents' house, even my ex-wife's place. And you came here because no one knows about you. We've never met, never talked. There's no connection they could trace. He meets my eyes. You're the perfect hiding place. I should be angry at being called a hiding place. I should tell him to leave right now. Instead, I watch as he gently dries the puppy's paws. You can use the bathroom to dry off better, I hear myself saying. I might have some old sweatpants that could fit you. They were my dad's. Thank you, Elise, he says, and the way he says my name makes it sound new somehow. I take the puppy while he goes to change. She's warm and soft in my hands, still trembling a little. Her brown eyes look up at me with complete trust. I've never had a dog before. Mom was allergic. And after she was gone, I just stuck with cats. It's okay, Willow, I whisper to her. You're safe now. When Gabriel returns, in my dad's old gray sweatpants and a t-shirt that's tight across his shoulders, he finds me sitting on the couch, the puppy asleep in my lap. Milo has come out from hiding and sits nearby, watching us with careful eyes. Outside, the storm still rages. Inside, we three, now four, sit in a strange, fragile peace. The clock ticks past 1 in the morning. Just until the storm passes, I remind him, and myself. He nods, sitting carefully at the other end of my couch. Just until it's safe. Neither of us says what we're both thinking. That storms, once invited in, don't leave when asked. That safety, once lost, is hard to find again. That my quiet life has just become something else entirely. A week passes, like water flowing under a bridge. The storm outside has long gone, but Gabriel and Willow remain. My once neat apartment now has puppy toys scattered across the floor. Gabriel's jacket hangs by the door like it belongs there. Even Milo has made peace with our guests, sometimes letting Willow sleep curled against his orange fur. I called in sick to the library for 2 days, then went back with a strange new secret tucked inside me. No one there would ever guess that my quiet home now holds a man on the run and a puppy that shouldn't exist. She needs a leash, I tell Gabriel as I watch him feed Willow bits of chicken from our dinner. The puppy's tail wags so fast it's just a golden blur. And her own food bowl. And puppy food instead of our leftovers. Gabriel looks up at me with a smile that changes his whole face. When he first arrived, his eyes were hard with fear. Now they crinkle at the corners when he laughs. Are we keeping her then? The word "we" lands warm in my chest. She's staying for now, I say carefully. So we should do it right. Later that evening, Gabriel sits cross-legged on my living room rug, watching as Willow pounces on a squeaky toy shaped like a duck. I sit nearby in my reading chair, a book open in my lap, though I haven't turned a page in 10 minutes. The golden light from my lamp makes shadows dance across the walls. You've never asked, Gabriel says suddenly, not looking at me. Asked what? Why they want her. His fingers scratch gently behind Willow's ears. Why they're hunting for her. What makes one small puppy so important? I mark my place in my book and set it aside. Would you tell me the truth if I asked? Now he looks up, his eyes meeting mine. Probably not all of it. His honesty surprises me. Most people would lie, make up a story to seem better than they are. Then I won't ask, I say. Not yet. Gabriel studies me like I'm a puzzle he can't quite solve. Why did you let us stay? You don't know me. I could be dangerous. I think about this for a moment. The old Elise, the one who sat alone at the wedding, would never have opened her door to a stranger in the night. I don't know. I admit. Something about your eyes, maybe. Or hers. I nod toward Willow. Or maybe I was just tired of being alone. Gabriel's face softens. You're unlike anyone I've ever met, Elise. Most people want to know everything. They need to label things, understand them, control them. I spend my days surrounded by stories, I say, thinking of the library shelves, the thousands of books with their secrets. Some take chapters to unfold. I can wait. The moon rises outside my window, painting silver squares on my floor. Gabriel picks up Willow and moves to sit on the couch. Tell me about yourself, he says. Something you don't tell most people. I join him on the couch, leaving a cushion between us. Like what? Anything. Something true. I take a deep breath. No one asks about me. I've become so good at being invisible that people forget to wonder what's beneath the quiet surface. When I was 9, I begin slowly. I got very sick. It was in my blood, something rare. I spent a year in hospitals. When I came back to school, everyone treated me like I might break, like I was different. I looked down at my hands, remembering how thin they were back then, how the other kids stared. The sickness went away, mostly. But sometimes I still hurt. My joints, especially on rainy days. Nothing serious, just enough to remind me. Is that why you were alone at the wedding? Gabriel asks softly. Because you still feel different? I nod. I got used to being on the outside. It was easier than trying to explain. My mom used to say I built walls with books. Smart woman, your mom. She died 3 years ago. The words still hurt, but less than they once did. What about you? Tell me something true. Gabriel is quiet for so long, I think he won't answer. Willow has fallen asleep in his lap, her tiny chest rising and falling with each breath. I've spent my life being what other people needed me to be, he finally says. The perfect son, the brilliant student, the tough businessman. I have 3 homes and can't remember what color the bedroom walls are in any of them. His hand moves gently over Willow's fur. This is the first place I've been in years where no one expects anything from me, where I'm just me. The confession hangs in the air between us. For a man who looks so strong, his words reveal something fragile. I think about reaching out, touching his hand, but don't. You can be whoever you want here, I tell him. I won't tell anyone. His laugh is quiet, mindful of the sleeping puppy. That's what makes you dangerous, Elise. You make me want to be real. We sit in silence after that, both lost in thought. The clock on my wall ticks past midnight. Another day gone. Another day of this strange new life. I should probably sleep, I say, standing up. Early shift tomorrow. Gabriel nods. I'll take the couch again. I've given him blankets and a pillow, which he folds neatly each morning and stacks on the chair. Each night he makes up his bed again, never complaining, never asking for more. As I head toward my bedroom, I pause. Gabriel? Yes? No one's ever really seen me either. Before you, I mean. The words come out barely above a whisper. He smiles, and something in his eyes makes my heart beat faster. Then we're even. I close my bedroom door and lean against it, eyes shut. Outside, I hear the soft sounds of Gabriel settling on the couch. Willow's little puppy sighs as she dreams. My apartment, once so quiet I could hear the tick of the clock from every room, now pulses with new life. In the morning, I wake to the smell of coffee. In my kitchen, Gabriel stands at the counter, measuring scoops into my old coffee maker. Willow sits at his feet, looking up hopefully for dropped food. Morning light streams through the windows, turning dust motes into floating gold. You didn't have to do that, I say, suddenly aware of my messy hair and old t-shirt. Gabriel turns a mug in each hand. Small, thanks for letting a stranger invade your life. He hands me one, careful not to let our fingers touch. We sip our coffee, watching each other over the rims of our mugs. Something has shifted between us, some wall lowered in the night. I need to tell you something, he says, setting down his mug. About Nexus, about why Willow matters. I shake my head. Not yet. Not if it puts you in danger. I surprise myself with the words, with how much I suddenly care about his safety. Elise, we have time, I say, more firmly this time. Finish your coffee. I made cinnamon rolls yesterday. They're not as good as fresh, but they'll do. He looks like he wants to argue, then sighs and nods. Okay, but soon. The rest of the day passes in small moments that feel bigger than they should. Gabriel helps me wash dishes, our elbows bumping at the sink. I show him my collection of first edition books, carefully preserved on their own special shelf. He tells me about stars, pointing out constellations from my window when night falls. We don't talk about why he's here or how long he'll stay. We don't talk about the world outside that's looking for him, for Willow. Instead, we create a bubble of safety in my small apartment, a place outside of time. That night, as Gabriel reads aloud from one of my favorite books, his voice low and warm in the quiet room, I realize something that scares me more than any stranger at my door. I don't want him to leave. Not tomorrow, not ever. Willow sleeps between us on the couch, her small body rising and falling with each breath. Gabriel's fingers absently stroke her fur as he reads. I watch his face, the way his lips form the words, the shadows his eyelashes cast on his cheeks. For the first time in my life, I understand what people mean when they say home isn't a place. It's a feeling. And right now, that feeling fills every corner of my small apartment, every space between my heartbeats. 2 weeks fly by like pages turning in a fast book. Gabriel and Willow have filled spaces in my apartment I didn't know were empty. Willow has grown, her golden fur soft and shiny from the special puppy food Gabriel ordered online. She sleeps at the foot of my bed now, with Milo curled nearby, an odd little family. Gabriel still sleeps on the couch, though I've caught him rubbing his neck in the mornings. He's too tall for it, but he never complains. Sometimes I think about offering him the other side of my bed, just to sleep, but the words stick in my throat. It's Tuesday, and I'm coming home from the library with a bag of books I thought Gabriel might like. The sun is warm on my face as I walk the 3 blocks from the bus stop to my building. For the first time in years, I find myself humming as I walk. Mrs. Porter from the 2nd floor nods at me in the lobby. You're looking happy these days, Elise, she says with a smile that makes the wrinkles around her eyes deepen. New boyfriend? I feel my cheeks get hot. No, just spring, I say, which makes no sense since it's fall, but she just smiles wider and lets me hurry past to the stairs. When I reach my floor, something feels wrong. The hall seems too quiet, the air too still. I slow down as I approach my door, keys clutched tight in my hand. The door is open, just a crack, but enough to send ice through my veins. I should run, call for help, do anything but what I do next, which is push the door open wider and step inside. Voices come from my living room. Male voices I don't know, and then Gabriel's, lower and harder than I've ever heard it. This doesn't concern you, Mr. Kaplan. The voice is cold, like a teacher who's caught a student cheating. The animal is property of Nexus Laboratories. Your employment doesn't grant you ownership rights. I freeze in the small entry hall, my bag of books heavy in my hand. Through the narrow opening, I can see 2 men in dark suits standing in my living room. They look like the men who come to schools to talk about drugs, or maybe FBI agents from TV shows. Between them and the wall stands Gabriel, his body rigid like a wall himself. Willow is behind him, her small body pressed against the baseboard. She's not property, Gabriel says, his voice like ice. She's a living being you were going to destroy. One of the men sighs, like he's bored. We've been very patient, Mr. Kaplan, but our patience has limits. The test subject needs to be returned to the lab today. The board is waiting for results. Test subject? Gabriel's laugh is sharp. Is that what you're calling her? Tell me, Reynolds, does your daughter know what Daddy does at work? How many puppies he's killed this month? The shorter man's face turns red. You're crossing a line, Kaplan. No, Gabriel says, taking a step forward. You crossed it when you started the K9 program. Dogs bred just to die. Puppies who never see sunlight. My bag slips from my fingers and hits the floor with a thud. Everyone turns. The taller man looks me over with cold eyes. Who's this? Gabriel's face goes blank, but his eyes find mine with a look that says run. I should run, but my feet move forward instead of back. This is private property, I say, my voice shaking only a little. You're trespassing. The shorter man Reynolds laughs. Miss, this doesn't involve you. We're here on official Nexus business. My apartment isn't Nexus business, I say, moving closer to Gabriel. My heart beats so hard I'm sure they can hear it. I want you to leave. Now. Miss, the taller man starts, his hand moving inside his jacket. She said leave. Gabriel's voice changes, becomes something I've never heard before. It's not the voice of the man who reads to me at night. or the one who laughs when Willow chases her tail. This voice belongs to someone else, someone powerful and dangerous. Now, the air in the room shifts. The men glance at each other, something passing between them that I don't understand. Tell Nexus if they come near her again, or Elise, I'll release everything I have. Gabriel continues, each word sharp as glass. Every document, every recording, every experiment. Would the board like that? Their names in the news, linked to animal torture? Reynolds goes pale. You wouldn't. Try me, Gabriel says, taking another step forward. I've got nothing to lose. For a long moment, no one moves. Then the taller man nods, just slightly. We'll report this to the board. You do that, Gabriel says. As they move toward the door, Reynolds pauses next to me. You should be careful about the company you keep, miss. Mr. Kaplan isn't what he seems. Then they're gone, the door clicking shut behind them. The room seems to breathe again. I rush to check on Willow, who wags her tail when I kneel beside her. She seems fine, just scared. My hands shake as I pet her soft head. Are you okay? Gabriel asks, kneeling next to me. Did they hurt you? I shake my head. I'm fine. I just came home and the door was open and I stop, looking up at him. Who are you? Really? Gabriel sits back on his heels, running a hand through his hair. He looks tired suddenly, the lines around his eyes deeper. I told you, I work for Nexus. Those men knew you, called you Mr. Kaplan like you're someone important. I watch his face, trying to see past the mask he suddenly seems to be wearing. What's really going on, Gabriel? He stands, moving to the window to peek through the blinds. They might still be watching. We should be careful. Gabriel. I stand too, anger mixing with fear in my chest. Tell me the truth. Now, or you and Willow need to leave. The words hurt to say. I don't want them to go, but I need the truth more than I need the warm feeling of them in my home. Gabriel turns back to me, his face serious. I didn't lie. I do work for Nexus, just not the way you think. He takes a deep breath. I'm on their board of directors. Or I was, until I found out about Project K9. The room seems to tilt under my feet. You're what? I was brought in 6 months ago as an outside director. They wanted my company's medical technology for a partnership. Everything looked good on paper. His eyes drift to Willow, who has settled on her bed, watching us with worried eyes. Then I found a restricted lab, puppies being bred for testing. Illegal testing, Elise, things that would make you sick. I sink onto the couch, trying to make sense of his words. So you stole a puppy? I took evidence, he corrects me. Willow is proof of what they're doing. Her blood work, her DNA, it's all designed for their tests. I was going to expose them, but they found out. Started erasing files, covering tracks. Willow is the only proof I have left. I look at the small dog who has become part of my life. She doesn't look special or different, just a sweet puppy who likes to chew on my socks. And now they found you, I say quietly. Found us. Gabriel nods, his face grim. I'm sorry, Elise. I never meant to put you in danger. I can leave tonight, take Willow somewhere else. The thought of my apartment empty again, quiet again, makes my throat tight. No, I say before I can think better of it. They know about this place now. Going somewhere new won't help. Elise, we'll figure it out, I say, more brave than I feel. Together. Gabriel crosses the room in 3 long steps and kneels in front of me, taking my hands in his. His are warm and rough, a worker's hands, not what I'd expect from a company director. Why are you doing this? Why help us? I look down at our joined hands, my small pale ones in his larger tan ones. Because for the first time in my life, I don't feel invisible. With you, I'm seen. His eyes search mine, looking for something I'm not sure is there. Then, slowly, giving me time to pull away, he leans forward and presses his lips to mine. The kiss is gentle, a question more than a demand. When he pulls back, his eyes are bright with something new. "You are the bravest person I've ever met," he says, his voice rough. I laugh. The sound shaky. "I'm really not. I'm scared all the time." "That's what makes you brave." His thumb traces a circle on the back of my hand. Being afraid and doing the right thing anyway. Outside, the sun is setting, painting my walls gold and pink. Inside, something new has bloomed between us, fragile as a first flower in spring. But behind it all lurks a shadow man in dark suits. A company with secrets, danger I never asked for, but now can't avoid. "What do we do now?" I ask. Gabriel's face grows serious again. "We fight." The word sounds strange in my quiet apartment, among my books and cat toys and the normal life I've always led. But as Gabriel stands, pulling me up with him, I realize normal is gone. In its place is something wild and scary and maybe wonderful. I squeeze his hand, making a promise to him, to Willow, to myself. "We fight," I repeat, and the words taste new on my tongue. The morning after the men from Nexus left, I wake to find Gabriel packing a small bag. The early sun streams through my kitchen window, making dust dance in the air. Willow sits at his feet, watching his every move with sad eyes, like she knows something is wrong. Milo perches on the counter, tail twitching. "You're leaving," I say, the words falling heavy between us. It's not a question. Gabriel turns, his face tired and drawn. He didn't sleep last night. I heard him pacing, making quiet phone calls in the bathroom with the water running. "I have to," he says, zipping the bag closed. It's so small. Just a few shirts, a toothbrush, the book he was reading, as if a person could be packed away so easily. I can fight them better if I'm out there. They're watching this place now. I wrap my arms around myself, suddenly cold despite the warm morning. "What about Willow?" Gabriel kneels down, running his hand over Willow's golden head. She licks his wrist, her tail giving a half-hearted wag. "She's safer with you. They expect her to be with me." "You want me to keep her? For how long?" My voice sounds far away to my own ears. "Just until I can stop them." He stands again, looking around my small apartment as if memorizing it. "A few days. A week at most." I don't believe him. The look in his eyes says goodbye, not see you soon. "And what am I supposed to do if they come back?" I ask. "They won't." He steps closer, puts his hands on my shoulders. His touch is warm through my thin sleep shirt. "Not right away, but if they do, call this number." He hands me a small white card with just 10 digits written on it. It's a friend. "He'll help you." I take the card, my fingers numb. "I don't understand. Yesterday we were going to fight together. Now you're running away." Pain flashes across his face. "I'm not running away, Elise. I'm drawing their attention from you, from Willow." His hands tighten on my shoulders. "What happened yesterday? I put you in danger. I can't do that again." "So you made this choice for me? Without asking?" Anger flares, hot and sudden. "That's not fair." "None of this is fair," he says, dropping his hands. "But it's how it has to be." We stand in silence, the clock on my wall ticking loudly. All the words I want to say pile up in my throat. Stay. Don't leave me. I think I might love you, but I say none of them. Instead, I nod, like his leaving isn't breaking something inside me. "When will I see you again?" I ask, hating how small my voice sounds. Gabriel picks up his bag, slings it over his shoulder. For a moment, he looks lost, unsure. Then he crosses to me, touches my face with gentle fingers. "I'll come back when it's safe, for both of you." He leans down and kisses me, soft and sad. It tastes like goodbye, Then he's gone, the door clicking shut behind him, just like that. 3 weeks of him in my life, changing everything, and now gone in less than 5 minutes. Willow whimpers at the door, scratching at it with her small paws. I sink to the floor beside her, gather her warm body in my arms. She licks the tears from my cheeks, her brown eyes full of a sadness that matches my own. It's just us now, girl, I whisper into her fur. The day passes in a fog. I call in sick to the library again. I can't face people today. Can't pretend that my world hasn't just been turned upside down and then abandoned. I sit on my couch, Willow's head on my lap, and stare at nothing. Milo joins us, purring against my side as if trying to help. Night falls, and I move to the window, scanning the street below. No black cars, no men in suits, but no Gabriel either. The empty space where he should be feels like a hole in the air. That night, I sleep on the couch, where his scent still clings to the cushions. Willow curls against me, her warm little body a small comfort in the vast loneliness. He'll come back, I tell her, stroking her soft ears. He promised. But promises break every day. My father promised to call every week after he left. He didn't. My mother promised she wasn't that sick. She was. Gabriel promised to return when it was safe. But what if it's never safe? Days pass. I go back to work, moving through my life like a ghost. I shelve books, help patrons find what they need, smile when smiled at, but inside, I'm waiting, always waiting. I buy Willow a proper leash, a pink one with little white flowers. I take her for walks in the small park near my building. She's growing fast, her puppy clumsiness giving way to graceful bounds across the grass. She makes friends with other dogs, with children who want to pet her. Everyone loves Willow. It's easy to forget she's special, different, valuable to men who would hurt her. A week passes, then another. No word from Gabriel. The white card with the phone number burns a hole in my wallet, but I don't call it, not yet. Calling would mean giving up on him, coming back himself. At night, I tell Willow stories about him. How he looked when he showed up at my door that stormy night. How he read books aloud in funny voices. How his eyes crinkled when he laughed. I'm afraid I'll forget the details. That he'll fade like a dream. He's coming back, I tell her, and myself, but my voice sounds less sure each time. 3 weeks after Gabriel left, I come home from work to find a small package outside my door. No name, no return address, just a plain brown box tied with string. My heart leaps, Gabriel, then falls. It's too small to be from him, too impersonal. Inside, I open it carefully. Inside is a dog tag for Willow's collar, silver and shiny, with her name on one side. On the other, tiny letters spell out, loved and protected. No note, nothing else. Is it from Gabriel? A warning from Nexus? I can't tell, and that scares me more than anything. That night, I dream of Gabriel. In the dream, he's walking away down a long hall. No matter how fast I run, I can't catch him. I wake with tears on my face and Willow licking my hand. A month to the day after he left, I make a decision. I can't keep living in this limbo, jumping at every sound, hoping each knock is him returning. Willow deserves better. I deserve better. I take out the white card, stare at the number. Who will answer? What will I say? But my fingers move anyway, dialing the number that might lead me back to Gabriel, or at least to answers. As it rings, I look down at Willow, now sitting alert at my feet. We're going to find him, I promise her, or at least find out why he left us. The phone rings once, twice, 3 times. Then a man's voice, deep and careful. Yes? My name is Elise, I say, my voice steady despite the fear bubbling in my chest. Gabriel Kaplan left your number. I need help. A pause, so long I think the call has dropped. Then, where are you now? Is the puppy still with you? My grip on the phone tightens. Yes, we're at my apartment. Stay there, the voice says. Lock your doors. Don't answer for anyone. I'll be there in 30 minutes. The line goes dead. I stare at the phone, wondering if I've made a terrible mistake. But it's too late to turn back. Whatever happens next, Willow and I will face it together. I kneel down, press my face into her warm fur. I miss him too, I whisper. But we'll be okay. I don't know if I believe it, but I have to try. For Willow, for myself, and for Gabriel, wherever he is, fighting a battle I can only guess at. As I wait for the stranger to arrive, I look around my apartment. The place that was once my quiet sanctuary, then briefly a home for three, now feels like a waiting room, a place between places. Not where I was, not where I'm going. The light fades outside my window. Night falls on another day without him. I switch on lamps, making the apartment bright against the darkness. Whatever comes next, I won't face it in shadows. Ready, girl? I ask Willow, who sits at attention by the door, as if she knows someone is coming. She doesn't answer, of course, but her steady presence beside me is answer enough. 3 months have passed since Gabriel left. Willow has grown from a tiny puppy into a young dog, her golden fur thick and shiny. She no longer fits in my lap, though she still tries sometimes. The stranger from the phone call, David, Gabriel's friend from college, checks on us once a week. He brings dog food and news, though never the news I want to hear. Still nothing, he says each time I ask about Gabriel. But that's good. If Nexus had found him, we'd know. Today is cold and gray. Rain taps against my windows like tiny fingers asking to be let in. Willow lies at my feet as I sort through the mail I've been ignoring for days. Bills, ads, a card from my aunt asking why I missed Thanksgiving dinner, and then something different, a thick cream envelope with a government seal in the corner. My hands shake a little as I open it. The letter inside is printed on heavy paper, full of big words and official stamps. I read it once, twice, my heart beating faster with each line. The words swim before my eyes. Animal control, custody claim, Nexus Laboratories ownership, return of property, court order. I put the letter down and pick it up again, hoping the words will change. They don't. The message is clear beneath all the fancy language. They're coming for Willow tomorrow. Willow looks up at me, her brown eyes trusting. She doesn't know that men in uniforms will arrive in less than 24 hours to take her away, back to Nexus, back to the place Gabriel rescued her from. They were going to destroy her, Gabriel had said. I remember the fear in his eyes when he showed up at my door that stormy night. Now I understand it fully. I pick up my phone to call David, then put it down. What can he do? He's just one person against a company with lawyers and money and government friends. This is an official order. If I don't obey, I could go to jail. Willow gets up and brings me her favorite toy, a stuffed duck that's missing one eye and most of its stuffing. She drops it at my feet, tail wagging hopefully. Play with me, her eyes say. Everything is fine. But it's not fine. Nothing is fine. I look around my apartment, at the dog bed in the corner, the toys scattered across the floor, the special food bowls I bought with little paw prints around the edges. This is Willow's home, our home. The thought of men in uniforms coming here, taking her away, makes me feel sick. The old me would have complied, would have cried and handed Willow over because that's what good, rule-following people do. But I'm not that person anymore. Gabriel changed me. Willow changed me. No one is taking you from me, I tell Willow, who cocks her head at the serious tone in my voice. We're family now. My mind races. We can't stay here, they know where I live. We can't go to friends or family, that would be the first place they'd look. We need somewhere no one would think to search for us. Then I remember my grandmother's cabin, deep in the woods 3 hours north. No one has lived there for years. It has no electricity, no internet, no trace of modern life. My father was supposed to sell it after she died, but never got around to it. I still have the key, hanging on a hook in my kitchen, untouched for years. I grab a bag and start packing. My movements quick and sure. Clothes, first aid kit, all the cash for my emergency fund. Willow watches, her tail slowly stopping its wag, as she senses the change in mood. "It's okay, girl," I tell her, pausing to scratch behind her ears. "We're going on an adventure." I call the library next. Tell them I have a family emergency. 2 weeks of vacation time I've never used. They don't ask questions. Quiet Elise, who never misses work, never causes problems, must have a good reason. I pack Willow's things next. Her food, bowls, leash, toys, the soft blanket she sleeps on. I'm careful to leave some of her things behind, to make it look like we're coming back. A trail of breadcrumbs leading the wrong way. As night falls, I make more calls, cancel my newspaper delivery, ask my neighbor to water my plants. Little things to make it seem like I'll be gone only briefly. All the while, the letter sits on my table, its official seal glinting in the lamplight like an evil eye. By midnight, my car is packed. Willow sits in the passenger seat, looking confused but excited. She loves car rides, doesn't know this one is different. Milo is with my neighbor. I couldn't take both animals. And cats hate change. "Mrs. Porter promised to look after him while you visit your sick aunt." The lie tasted strange on my tongue, but necessary. I take one last look at my apartment before locking the door. The place that has been my safe harbor for years now feels like a trap. I won't miss it, I realize. Just the brief time when it held 3 beating hearts instead of 1. As we drive through the dark city, Willow presses her nose to the window, watching the lights blur by. I take back roads, paranoid about being followed. The letter had said they'd come at 9 tomorrow morning. By then, we'll be ghosts. The city gives way to suburbs, then to countryside. The roads get narrower, darker. Rain falls harder, making the world beyond my headlights a wet smear. My hands grip the steering wheel so tight, my knuckles turn white. "We're going to be okay," I tell Willow, who has fallen asleep, her head on my purse. I don't know if I believe it, but saying the words helps. 3 hours later, we turn onto a rutted dirt road, barely wide enough for my car. Trees press in from both sides, branches scraping against the windows. At the end of the road, barely visible in my headlights, sits the cabin. Small, dark, forgotten by time, perfect. Inside is just as I remember from childhood summers. One main room with a stone fireplace, a tiny kitchen with a hand pump for water, a bedroom with a sagging double bed, everything covered in dust and spiderwebs. The air smells of old wood and forgotten memories. I unpack the car quickly, aware of every sound in the dark woods around us. Willow explores the cabin, her nails clicking on the wooden floors. She seems unbothered by the rustic surroundings, happy just to be with me. I make up the bed with clean sheets I brought, sweep the worst of the dust away, and start a fire in the fireplace. The flames cast long shadows on the walls, but also bring warmth and light. By their glow, the cabin looks almost cozy. Willow curls up on her blanket near the fire, watching me with trusting eyes as I unpack our food supplies. I've brought enough for 2 weeks. By then, I'll need a new plan. But for now, we're safe. As dawn breaks, I sit by the window, watching the trees emerge from darkness. Willow sleeps peacefully, unaware that at this very moment, men are probably knocking on my apartment door in the city, finding it empty, realizing we've run. My phone has no signal here exactly as I'd hoped. No one can reach us. No one can find us. We vanished. I should be scared. I've broken rules, defied a court order, run away like a criminal. The old Elise would be having a panic attack right now. But the woman I've become feels something else. a fierce pride. For the first time in my life, I've chosen to fight instead of fold. Gabriel will find us when it's safe, I whisper to Willow, who opens one eye at the sound of her favorite person's name. Until then, I'll protect you. By noon, I've cleaned the worst of the cabin, found the old well out back, and figured out the propane stove. Willow has explored every corner of our new home and marked the territory around it as hers. The rain has stopped, leaving the woods dripping and green. I sit on the porch steps, watching Willow chase a squirrel across the clearing. The air smells of pine and wet earth. No car horns, no neighbors, no ticking clock. Just wind in trees and a dog's happy bark. The woman who sat alone at that wedding wouldn't recognize me now. I say out loud to no one. My heart pounds steady and strong. My hands no longer shake. I'm running towards something instead of away. For the first time in my life. Somewhere in the city, men in suits are frustrated by our disappearance. Somewhere, maybe, Gabriel is still fighting to bring Nexus down. And here, in this forgotten corner of the world, we wait. Not in fear, but in defiance. Night falls again. I light candles and the fireplace, making our small space glow with warmth. Tomorrow, I'll need to figure out how to get news, how to know when it's safe to return. But tonight, I allow myself to simply be. Willow lies beside me on the sagging couch, her head on my lap. I stroke her soft fur and make her a promise. No one will ever take you from me. We're family now. And family protects each other. Outside, an owl calls into the darkness. Inside, we are small but mighty, two hearts beating as one, waiting for the third to find its way back to us. 6 weeks have passed in the cabin. Willow and I have settled into a simple life away from the noise and rush of the city. Each morning, we wake with the sun streaming through dusty windows. We walk in the woods, Willow running ahead, nose to the ground, tail high. I've learned to chop wood for the fireplace, to cook simple meals on the old stove, to be still and listen to the forest around us. Once a week, I drive to the small town 20 miles away for supplies. I pay cash, keep my head down, give a fake name if asked. In town, I check news on the library computer. No stories about Nexus, no mention of Gabriel, nothing about a missing librarian and her dog. It's as if we've slipped between the cracks of the world, become invisible in a different way than before. Today the sky hangs low and gray, promising snow. Willow and I have just returned from our morning walk, our breaths making little clouds in the cold air. I'm stacking firewood on the porch when I hear it, the distant sound of a car engine, growing louder. No one comes down this road. No one knows we're here. Willow, inside, I whisper. She obeys instantly, sensing my fear. I follow her in, closing and locking the door. Through the window, I watch the road, a rusty axe gripped tight in my hands. I've become someone who would fight if needed. The thought no longer surprises me. A black SUV appears between the trees, moving slowly down the rutted path. My heart hammers against my ribs. Nexus? Police? I edge away from the window, position myself between Willow and the door. The SUV stops in the clearing. For a long moment, nothing happens. Then the driver's door opens and a man steps out. Gabriel. I blink hard, certain I'm seeing things. But no, it's him, taller than I remembered, thinner, his face more angular. His hair is longer, his beard rough on his jaw. He wears a heavy coat against the cold, his breath making ghosts in the air as he looks up at the cabin. From the radio in his car, I can just make out words. Breaking news. Nexus Laboratories. Whistleblower scandal. CEO arrested. Time seems to stop as I stare through the dusty glass. Gabriel turns slowly, scanning the clearing, the cabin, as if unsure of what he'll find. When his eyes land on the window where I stand, he goes still. I should be cautious. Should wonder how he found us, why he's here now, what the radio news means. But my body moves before my mind can catch up. I drop the axe, unlock the door, step onto the porch. Elise, he says, the word barely carrying across the space between us. Willow pushes past me, a golden blur racing across the clearing. She reaches Gabriel before I can call her back. Leaping up with joyful barks, he kneels to greet her, his face breaking into the smile I've dreamed about for months. I walk down the steps slowly, afraid that if I move too fast, this vision might disappear. Gabriel stands, Willow dancing circles around him. 10 steps separate us, then 5, then none. You found us, I say, my voice rough from disuse. Living alone in the woods, I've gotten used to silence. I would have found you anywhere, he says. His eyes search my face, taking in the changes months have made. I'm thinner too, my skin tanned from outdoor work, my hair longer and wild. I'm sorry it took so long. I want to touch him, to make sure he's real. But something holds me back, the memory of him leaving, of months of waiting, of hoping that faded to a dull ache. What happened, I ask. The radio in your car. Gabriel looks over his shoulder at the SUV, then back at me. It's over. They're finished. His voice holds a mix of exhaustion and triumph. I had evidence recordings, files, witness statements. It took time to build the case, to make sure it was solid. I couldn't contact you. They were watching everyone connected to me. 3 months, I say, each word like a stone. No word, no message. I thought you might be dead. Pain crosses his face. I know. I'm so sorry, Elise. I wanted to tell you everything from the beginning, but it wasn't safe. Tell me what? Something in his voice makes me wary. What don't I know? Gabriel? He takes a deep breath, his shoulders squaring as if preparing for a blow. I should have told you everything that first night, but I was afraid you wouldn't help us. He glances down at Willow, who sits calmly at his feet, looking between us with bright eyes. I'm not just an employee at Nexus. I'm Gabriel Kaplan, CEO of Kaplan Industries. I blink, trying to make sense of the words. CEO? But you said, we acquired Nexus 3 months before the wedding, before I met you. During the transition, I discovered their illegal testing program. His words come faster now, as if he's been holding them in too long. I needed evidence, but they were careful. Willow was that evidence. Her DNA, her blood work, it all proved what they were doing. But I needed a safe place to hide her while I gathered the rest. Understanding dawns, cold and sharp. You used me as a hiding place. Gabriel flinches. At first, yes. At first, I repeat, the words bitter in my mouth. All those weeks together in my apartment, all the quiet moments and shared secrets, was it all just a convenient cover story? But then, he steps closer, careful, like approaching a wild animal. Then I saw how you looked at the world, how you cared for Willow, for me, without knowing who I was or what I could give you. Just me, stripped of everything. His voice drops lower. No one has ever seen me like that, Elise. The wind picks up, sending dead leaves scurrying across the ground between us. In the distance, thunder rolls across the mountains. Why now? I ask. Why come here now? Because it's safe. Because Nexus is done. He reaches for my hands, and I let him take them, his skin warm against mine despite the cold air. And because I love you, not because you saved Willow or hid us, but because you showed me what courage really looks like. It looks like opening your door to strangers in the rain. The simple truth in his words washes over me. I search his face for lies and find none. Just exhaustion, hope, and something that looks like home. I ran away with your dog, I say, the absurdity of it all suddenly hitting me. Gabriel laughs, the sound bright in the quiet forest. Our dog! And you didn't run away. You fought back. His thumbs traced circles on my palms. When I found your apartment empty, that court order on the table, I was so proud and so scared. How did you find us? David. He didn't know where you were, but he said you'd asked about your grandmother's property once. It was a long shot. His eyes crinkle at the corners, but I had to try. Behind him, the radio in the car continues to broadcast news of Nexus's downfall. The company that threatened us is crumbling. The danger is past. We are free. Come home with me, Gabriel says suddenly, still holding my hands. Both of you. We can start over, build something real. No more hiding, no more running. Home, I say, testing the word. Where is that now? Wherever you are, he says simply. Willow nudges my leg, as if giving her approval. Above us, the gray sky cracks, letting through a single shaft of sunlight that turns the clearing golden. A sign, perhaps, or just good timing. I think of my apartment in the city, once so safe and quiet. Think of this cabin, rustic but peaceful. Neither feels like home anymore. Home, I realize, isn't a place at all. Yes, I say, and feel the rightness of it settle in my chest. We'll come home. Gabriel's smile breaks across his face like dawn. He pulls me close, his arms strong around me. I rest my head against his chest, listen to his heartbeat, steady and sure. Willow presses against our legs, completing the circle. I have so much to tell you, he whispers into my hair. About Nexus, about what happens next. Later, I say, looking up at him. We have time now. He lowers his head, and when his lips meet mine, I taste promise and future and truth. Above us, snow begins to fall, soft white flakes melting where they touch our warm skin. A clean slate, a new beginning. In this moment, standing in a forgotten clearing with the man who changed everything and the dog who brought us together, I am no longer invisible. I am seen, I am heard, I am home. 1 year later, I stand in front of a room filled with people, bright lights shining in my eyes. My emerald green dress feels smooth against my skin, the fabric catching the light when I move. My hands don't shake as I hold the small cards with my speech. The huge room is quiet as everyone watches me. Welcome to the first annual Willow Foundation Gala, I say into the microphone. My voice sounds clear and strong through the speakers. 1 year ago, I was hiding in a cabin in the woods with a dog I'd helped rescue. Today, we stand before you to announce our newest project. From where I stand on the stage, I can see Gabriel in the front row. He looks handsome in his dark suit, his smile proud as he watches me. Beside him sits Willow, now fully grown, wearing a special vest that marks her as a therapy dog in training. Her golden fur gleams under the lights. She sits perfectly still, as if she knows how important tonight is. The Willow Foundation is proud to announce the opening of 5 new animal sanctuaries across the country. I continue. These safe spaces will give homes to animals rescued from testing labs, places where they can heal, play, and live the lives they deserve. The crowd breaks into applause. I see reporters writing in small notebooks. Cameras flash like tiny stars. A year ago, I would have run from all these eyes on me. Now I stand tall, my shoulders back, my head high. A year ago, I was hiding from the world, I tell the crowd. Now we're changing it, one rescued animal at a time. As I finish my speech, the room fills with clapping and cheers. I step down from the stage, moving through the crowd toward Gabriel and Willow. People reach out to shake my hand, to offer kind words. I thank them all, no longer shy or afraid to be seen. Have I told you today how proud I am of you? Gabriel whispers when I reach him. His hand rests warm at the small of my back. Only twice, I answer with a smile. Then I'm falling behind, he says, kissing my cheek softly. We move through the crowded ballroom together, stopping to talk with donors and supporters. Willow walks perfectly beside us, her special vest making people smile and ask questions. She's become the face of our foundation, the living proof of what we fight for. Miss Lawson! A woman in a bright blue dress approaches us. Your speech was wonderful. The work you're doing is so important. Thank you, I say, still not used to hearing my new name. Gabriel and I married 6 months after the day he found me at the cabin. A small, quiet wedding, but joyful. We couldn't do it without supporters like you. More people gather around us. A man in glasses asks about our newest sanctuary in Colorado. A woman with silver hair tells us about her donation. Everyone wants to talk to the couple who brought down Nexus Laboratories and started a movement for animal rights. After an hour of talking and smiling, my face hurts a little. Gabriel notices, as he always does, and gently guides me toward glass doors that lead to a balcony. Outside, the night air feels cool after the warm, crowded room. City lights spread out below us like fallen stars. You were amazing in there, Gabriel says, his arm around my waist. Willow sits at our feet, looking out at the view with us. Sometimes I can't believe how far we've come in just 1 year. I lean against him, thinking of all the changes. After Nexus fell, Gabriel used his position as CEO of Kaplan Industries to start the Willow Foundation. I left my job at the library to run it with him. Our days are now filled with rescue operations, sanctuary visits, and fundraising events like tonight's gala. The pain that made me quiet and alone for so many years hasn't gone away completely. Some mornings it greets me before Gabriel does, making my joints stiff, my movements slow. But now it's just one part of me, not the whole story. What was once my greatest weakness has become my strength. The ability to see suffering in others, to want to help, to offer shelter without asking questions. What are you thinking about? Gabriel asks, his thumb tracing small circles on my wrist. How sometimes the things we're running from lead us exactly where we need to be, I answer. He smiles, understanding what I mean without needing more words. That's one of the things I love most about him, how he sees beyond what I say to what I mean. If you hadn't been sitting alone at that wedding, he says, if I hadn't noticed you, if you hadn't shown up at my door with a puppy who needed saving, I add. We both needed saving, he says quietly. Me most of all. It's true. When Gabriel first came to my door that stormy night, he was running from more than just Nexus. He was running from a life where he was valued only for what he owned, what he could give. In my small apartment, with just me and Milo, and later Willow, he found a place where he could simply be himself. The door behind us opens, and David steps out onto the balcony. He's been with us from the start, helping build the foundation, using his legal skills to fight for animal rights. He's dressed in a tuxedo tonight, but his wild hair still won't stay neat. Sorry to interrupt, he says with a quick smile, but the mayor wants to speak with you both before she leaves. Gabriel sighs softly. Duty calls. I nod, taking a last look at the beautiful view. Let's not keep her waiting. We follow David back inside, Willow trotting beside us. The ballroom is still full of people talking, laughing, sharing stories. Our story has touched so many others, created ripples we never expected. The mayor, a tall woman with kind eyes, waits near the stage. She shakes our hands warmly. Mr. and Mrs. Kaplan, she says, I wanted to personally thank you for choosing our city for your newest sanctuary. The jobs it will create, the educational opportunities for our schools. It's a wonderful gift. We're happy to do it, Gabriel says. This city has given us so much. As they talk about details and plans, I look around the room. All these people are here because of what began in my small apartment on a stormy night. Because I opened a door instead of keeping it shut. Because I chose to help instead of hide. Later, as we say goodnight to the last guests, I feel a sweet tiredness settle over me. It's been a long evening, but a good one. Gabriel's arm is strong around my waist as we walk to our car, Willow leading the way. Home? He asks, opening the door for me. Home, I agree. Our house is nothing like my old apartment. It's big and open, with large windows that let in light and a yard where Willow can run. Milo moved with us, of course, and now rules the house like the king he believes he is. But size and space aren't what make it special. It's the feeling of safety, of belonging, that fills every room. That night, as I lie in bed with Gabriel's arm around me and Willow sleeping nearby, I think about the woman I used to be. The one who sat alone at weddings, who built walls with books, who believed herself invisible. She wouldn't recognize me now. I am Elise Kaplan. I speak in front of crowds. I fight for those who can't fight for themselves. I love and am loved in return. My journey began with pain and loneliness. It led me through storm and struggle, through hiding and running, and it brought me here, to this quiet moment of peace beside the man who saw me when I thought I was invisible. I reach for Gabriel's hand in the darkness, feel his fingers curl around mine. This is where I belong. This is who I've become, not despite my scars and struggles, but because of them. Outside, the moon casts silver light through our windows. Inside, 3 hearts beat in the quiet dark, Gabriel's, Willow's, and mine. Different rhythms, same song. The song of family, of home, of finding strength in the broken places and beauty in unexpected corners. I close my eyes and let sleep pull me under, safe in the knowledge that morning will find us still here, still together, still building something beautiful from what once was broken. In finding my voice, I found my home, and it was worth every step of the journey.